Odell Beckham Jr. could be on his way to the Minnesota Vikings. This comes after a lot of speculation about where he might not end up, and that being the Los Angeles Rams, the team he went to last year, the team he signed with last year, the team he won a Super Bowl with last year. It doesn't look like those two sides are going to be able to come to the table and come to an agreement on a deal that Odell wants. There has been all the indication in the world that Odell does want more than the veteran minimum, which is what a lot of teams at this point are looking to offer him. There are other players in consideration outside of the Vikings. There are the Kansas City Chiefs, who we'll talk about later. But right now, Odell Beckham Jr. is not going back to the Rams. That is a team he had a lot of success with. He was one of the top receivers in the league like the last 7 games of the year last year. He made an immediate impact for that Los Angeles Rams offense that really needed that spark plug. Like, they were already great, and Cooper Kupp was already, basically setting records. But what Odell Beckham Jr. offered that team was kind of that extra home run hitter. What he offered that team last year in the Rams was the equivalent of just having, remember when the OKC Thunder had James Harden on their bench, and everyone knew that James Harden, if he was a starter, was going to be like a great player? He offers that. He offers you a guy who you can rely on if Cooper Kupp's having a bad day. If Cooper Kupp is injured and no one else is working out, you have that extra punch. It sends you over the top, and that's what he did for that offense. That's what he was able to do, and that's a big reason why they won a Super Bowl. And why am I talking about Odell Beckham Jr.'s Super Bowl run last year? Because the offensive coordinator of that Super Bowl run was current Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. So, bear with me here. Odell Beckham Jr., from a fit standpoint, makes a lot of sense going to the Minnesota Vikings. They are a team that has Justin Jefferson, who is great. They are a team that has Adam Thielen, who's really good. A team who has Dalvin Cook. A team that really is 5-1, and you could argue they don't really need Odell Beckham Jr. But from a fit standpoint, from what they need, because here's the thing. I know a lot of people are going to like to claim that Kirk Cousins is a top 10 NFL quarterback. Reality is he's not. He has had the luxury, especially since he's been in Minnesota, of having great talent around him and not being able to live up to that potential. But if you add Odell Beckham Jr. to that team, I think it does a very similar thing that it did last year with Matthew Stafford, in that it elevates that guy. It elevates that quarterback to a situation where he's good enough that he can win with Odell, with Justin, with Dalvin, and with Adam Thielen. Like I genuinely believe that if you want, that is the thing that sends him over the top. Now, take it with a grain of salt, because we also need to remember that Odell Beckham Jr. is a guy who in the Super Bowl last year tore his ACL. So how far along is he in his recovery? Where's that knee at? How does his speed look? Can he run the routes that he needs to? Does he still have that burst of energy? That's to be determined. But if he comes back, I would say even like 80% of what he was in that Super Bowl, I think that's a home run hitter they can't ignore. The fit with Kevin O'Connell, who again was the offensive coordinator, has spoken highly of him. He was asked about it, I believe, earlier this week. And he said that he gave a lot of credit to Odell Beckham Jr. for that Super Bowl run. You also have to look towards a guy like Justin Jefferson, who is stated multiple times that he looks at Odell Beckham Jr. somewhat like an older brother. They have that LSU connection. So whether or not he signs, I mean, at the end of the day, Odell Beckham Jr., it's going to be hard for him, to get the contract that he wants. Because we all know what Odell wants. And the sad thing about it is Odell, in those last 7 or so games that he played with the Rams into the playoffs, proved that he was worth making good money and having a long-term investment in him as a wide receiver. That's the saddest thing about his injury, honestly. Because he's a guy who was getting way too much grief. He was getting way too much grief for that whole Brown situation. It was not his fault. And We all knew whose fault it was. It was Baker Mayfield. Like, at the end of the day, they just didn't have the chemistry. Baker couldn't get him the ball. That's what it was. He could not get him the ball. And then what does he do? He goes to L.A. and he plays lights out. And look at everywhere else he's been. He's been New York, even with Daniel Jones, Eli Manning. No matter who's a quarterback, he's playing lights out. So I think we need. I think people are going to bring up the off the field. What off the field concerns are there? With Odell Beckham Jr. Oh, that he's emotional. That he wears his heart on his sleeve. That he might do a dance or two. God forbid. When you got guys like Deshaun Watson running around the league, we want to talk about Odell and getting paid the most guaranteed money in NFL history. People want to bring up, we have off the field concerns for a guy who's never been in trouble like that. For a guy who like I'm just sick. It's you know what it is? We're still living in the era, apparently, of diva wide receivers. Because if you twerk after you score a touchdown, apparently you're a diva. If you do something funny, like, propose to a net, like, come on, guys. Like, let's be serious. The guy's never been in trouble. He's been nothing but a great teammate from what everyone said, whether it's the Browns, whether it's the Giants. Everyone says the dude's been a great teammate. His coaches speak highly of him. I mean, it's incredulous. It's incredulous to me that we're still talking about off-the-field concerns. And it really makes you wonder, like, the double standard we have for some people. I don't know, but Odell Beckham Jr. to the Vikings, to me, makes a lot of sense. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comment section? Let me know over there in the comment section. The alarm went off. Let me know right there. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.